All right, James Dobney joining us now, registered home inspector, here to talk all things house-related.
House-related.
House and home-related. You were mentioning this cold temperatures, hose bibs, outside hose bibs
Yeah,
are going to be an issue.
outside hose bibs. Now, the rest of BC knows about it because they get cold weather a lot earlier than the lower mainland, but the lower mainland very often will go through a whole winter and not get it really, really cold. And the trouble is that people get out of the habit of turning off their outside hose bibs. So make sure today that you go out, do that, shut off inside where the water goes to it, and then open up the outside one and let the water drain out. Disconnect your garden hoses as well.
Yeah, an expensive fix if you don't do
that. It is. It can be really messy, so yeah.
Okay, we got a question on the phone. Daryl from Langley. You got a question about drywall?
Hi, yeah, in my bedroom I have a cathedral ceiling, and where the drywall butts on the peak, drywall tape is kind of blistering, and my house is only about 4 or 5 years old. What would cause that?
I'm guessing probably the heat and the change in temperature. No signs of moisture, no water stains or anything like that?
No water stains, no moisture, no.
Yeah, probably the temperature, I'm guessing, and they didn't have enough mud on when they put it on originally. Have you tried to fix it yet?
No, I haven't fixed it. It's not terribly bad, but when I'm lying in bed at night, I can kind of see the blistering on the tape.
Well, yeah, and it's disturbing. Next time you paint, go up and obviously good ladder and try and get drywall mud in behind the part that's blistered, and then press it down again and let it set up, and it should be okay.
What's your ceiling?
Do you have a ceiling fan?
No.
Yeah, you might want to put a ceiling fan in. That'll help move the air around as well, and that'll even out the temperature in the room.
But there's no wiring for a ceiling fan.
Yeah, that's a tough one. But electricians can get wires almost anywhere, so.
It's a blistering drywall that ends up a massive repair. All right, thanks, Daryl. We have an email question here, a heat pump related issue. Is it true that she needs to replace, Corinne in Duncan, or Couch and Bay rather, needs to replace her heat pump. Is it true that needs to a correctly sized heat pump will have it running most of the time?
Yes. That's true. It should be running most of the time, and in the lower mainland and the island, the areas where most people are likely to have heat pumps, you want it sized for the cooling load. So in cooling mode, it'll be running most of the time. That's a good thing. For heating, if you size it for the heating load, what will happen is it'll cycle on and off too much when it's cooling, and that's hard on everything. So a good heating contractor will size it correctly, and you don't want to oversize it for sure.
The idea that you can just have a heat pump in the lower mainland when it doesn't go below zero much, is that true, or do you still need a forced air furnace?
Well, you should have some kind of auxiliary heat because you get weather like this or even colder than this. You don't want to size it so that it's going to be running. You don't want to size it for our heating load on the lower mainland. So there'll be auxiliary heat of some kind, either a heater in the duct or there'll be a furnace as well. So
I think we have Margaret on the phone.
Good morning.
Margaret, what's your question?
Hi, Margaret.
I'm out in the valley here in Abbotsford, and I'm now living in a one-bedroom apartment on the second floor. And my patio door is where I go to smoke because I can't smoke in my building. But I'm wondering how I can insulate that one window where it's not so cold coming in.
Sorry, the patio door?
Correct.
You're wondering about insulating it?
Correct.
Is it a double glazed window?
I wish that would keep out a lot of the cold, but no.
Well, you can put in what's called an inside storm window as well, if you don't want to change that.
I'm only renting, so.
Sorry?
I'm renting, so I think that would be the
you're renting. Curtains, heavy curtains will help that as well.
Yeah, I heard the light blocking curtains, if you hang them down, have a little bit of a thermal value there.
Yes, yeah, they do. The danger with that is that if you get a lot of humidity inside the house, you can get condensation in behind them. So failing double glazed windows, I would say curtains, or you're right, those kinds of blinds.
And if you're going, it's a patio door, you're going in and out. It's
it's inconvenient. For sure.
I think we have another email question we can go to. Recent renovation, a contractor disposed of turpentine by pouring it down a shower drain. We have poured buckets of soap water down the drain, but the smell keeps coming back. Is there anything we can use to get rid of the smell? That's Russ.
Yeah, that's shame on the contractor for doing that. Common problem. There are lots of drain cleaners around. They also have methods of cleaning drains with compressed air. There's a compressed air type that you can blow through. Household remedy would be baking soda followed by vinegar. So about equal quantities, cup of baking soda, cup of vinegar, let it sit in there, let it bubble and do its thing, flush it out with hot water after that. Be very careful about bleach. If you use bleach, you can do it, but only on its own. Don't ever put Drano and bleach together. If you do that, it produces chlorine gas, and it's very nasty. So another thing for a drain like that, and I believe this is a shower drain, you don't have access to the trap underneath, is you get a bottle brush. The kind of they would clean out wine bottles. It's a messy job, but take off the strainer, run the bottle brush through, and get it cleaned out that way, and then do the baking soda and vinegar.
Could you use like a plumbing snake and maybe put a brush on that?
You could do that. The trouble with a plumbing snake, it'll get out a big blockage, but if there's debris, and there's algae growth and fungus that grows on the side of the pipe, that we won't get that off. So I suspect what's happened is a turpentine soaked into that.
Okay. Another question on the phone. Terry from Kelowna. You have a question about siding?
Yeah, James, how are you this morning?
Hi, Terry. I'm fine, thanks.
Good. We've got HardiPlank siding here. We've been in the house for about 5.5 years, and now it's starting to get like sun fading, but it's not the fact that it's fading out from paint. Just want to know if there's something you suggest to wash it up to get it back to its original.
Like any kind of siding on the house, be careful with a pressure washer. I'm not a big fan of pressure washers because they can take the paint off, they can take the primer off as well. There are lots of products for washing siding made specifically for that. One for stucco would work. Any product like that, and a brush, and just some hard work.
That HardiPlank, which is cement board, like a cement product, you can paint that? Is that?
Yes. Oh yeah, you can paint it for sure. Yeah, it's a good product.
Yeah,
stands up well.
It does. It lasts quite a bit longer.
No, it's good. But like any exterior finish, painting's important.
Yeah, and unfortunately, pressure washing sometimes is the only thing you can do.
Sometimes, but you just have to be very careful. You're not actually going to damage the siding. Yeah. I've seen people strip siding right off their house with pressure washers. So.
Okay.
Be careful.
Thanks for coming in this morning, James.
You're welcome.
If you have any more questions for James, you can reach him by calling the number on your screen, 604-942-8272. Check out his website, jamesdobney.com. You can always email him. If you have a question for any one of our Ask an Expert guests, you can email it to weekendnews@globaltv.com. Make sure you put the guest's name in the subject box. Next week, medical herbalist Caitlin Yardley will join us in studio.